Let's turn the mic on. Okay, here we go. Can y'all hear me now? I think y'all can hear me now, I think. So we're going to go ahead and try this again here a little bit. And we're going to start right back at that radar. I think y'all can hear me now. We've got the mic on. I've got everything set up. Y'all should hear me now. If y'all don't, let me know. But for right now, we're going to turn this right back on. And I think y'all should be able to hear me right now at this particular time. Now that we've got the radar up. So, yep, y'all can hear me now. We got a yes, we can hear me now. That's really, really good. So let's go ahead and let's get going once again. And we're going to start once again. My name is meteorologist Jordan Darensberg, and we're going to take a look at that radar screen right now. I'm going to take this full once again because we are seeing good bits of rainfall. That some of it is reaching the ground in form of showers, but a lot of that just to the south of Rosanke and just to the south of Smithville there in Cedar Creek and around the Red Rock area of Bastrop County. Places like Delhi over in eastern sections of Caldwell County, seeing some of that light shower activity as well. And then there it is along the 130 tollway, a bit of steady rain, but to pass just to the east of downtown and then eventually along that 183 interchange out toward actually, that is along 183, my bad, not 130. 130 is right here by the Austin Executive Airport. This is that 130 toll road, my bad, just east of Manor. And also the 183, that's 183 right here. So this is 183 right here. This is the 130 tollway. And there is that heavier rain shower activity as when it comes to that Austin Metro. And we're going to continue to watch that very, very closely. Because again, I know a lot of y'all have really been wanting to see some rain shower activity and also a little bit of steadier rain in places like Oak Hill, right there along 290, just southwest of downtown Austin, and also areas like Lake Travis, where we do have that weather camera right there by the Oasis Restaurant. Starting to see that shower activity there too, just off to the west of Steiner Ranch. Also Spicewood, Marble Falls, out toward Burnett, Bertram. That's where we're seeing some of that steadier rainfall here locally. Now, the rest of us, that rain's really not necessarily reaching the ground per se, but one thing I have seen with this rain is that somewhat reduced visibility. And that's what we've got going on with 1 3/4 miles being recorded at Camp Mabry, and we've also got a little bit lesser visibility in places like Pflugerville, and the airport is now down to about 1 mile in visibility, so that could impact flight arrivals and flight delays there. But Lago Vista, you could be down to around 1/4 mile there. So something we're watching with some of that heavier rainfall in places like Lago Vista. That's where we're going to be seeing some of that steadier rainfall where we have that somewhat reduced visibility. Now, as we take a look right now at the temperatures, this is that tree right there at Zilker Park, right there from our Zach Theater weather camera. And temperatures right now are mainly in those low to mid 60s area wide. And we've got a lot of that cloud cover hanging around. And that's going to be the case for the rest of the night, folks. And something I do want to mention, but there's a bit of a silver lining to all that. And it's that our allergens are down from this morning. Remember, we talked about, and I'll take this full once again, by the way, we talked about cedar earlier this morning. Grace Thornton was here and she talked about 53 grains per cubic meter, but we're down to 11 right now this evening. So good news on that particular front, but we've also got ragweed entering the fray as well. It's less than 1 grain per cubic meter, but it's still in the low count, and mold is back down to medium. So there's good news on that particular front. But we also have better rain chances where we really could use those rain chances. Now, the reason we have the best rain chances on your Monday and Wednesday, and I'm going to draw this out for you just a little bit, and that is because we do have a front that's going to be making its way through by the time we get to your Monday as well as your Wednesday. So we're really going to be seeing a really good bit of some nice rainfall possible, and I'll talk more about those totals here momentarily. But out ahead of these fronts, the best rain chances are going to be Monday at around 60% and then Wednesday at around 40%. out ahead of those fronts like what we've talked about. Now, as we take a look at your futurecast, this is by the time we get to around Saturday morning. Now, Saturday morning, and this is going to be a common theme for your Saturday and Sunday, could have a few of those isolated to widely scattered showers and maybe, just maybe, a rumble of thunder, especially on Saturday, because we could have a little bit more instability if these clouds are able to break up. I don't think we're going to see much in the way of sunshine according to what this model says, but I do think we are going to be seeing some shower activity that's going to be isolated to widely scattered. Now let's look ahead to Sunday, and Sunday morning we could have a little bit of that low cloud cover, maybe even some of that radiational fog as well. And as we warm it up once again for your Sunday, I think this model is a little ambitious for our temperatures. This has 80 for a high at Camp Mabry, and that would be just shy of a daily heat record for Camp Mabry for that day, which would be 82 set back in 1924. But I think we just get to the mid 70s because I think there's going to be just too much in the way of cloud cover for that to take place. But again, I'll be here tomorrow morning. We're going to have all the latest on that to see if things do trend in that particular direction. But as we head into Monday morning, that's ahead of a lot of the heaviest rain that we could see. We are going to be starting off mainly cloudy and again a little bit on the muggier side and could have a little bit of radiational fog as well. Now, looking past Monday, and we're going to look past Monday here and we're going to go through it a little slowly. I think this model doesn't really go past around 1 o'clock on your Monday, so we can't really get a good short range update, and I'll probably be able to do that for you guys tomorrow evening. But by and large, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot in terms of some of that heavier rainfall. Now, let's take a look at the 7-day outlook for rainfall amounts. Now, we're looking at mainly of around a half an inch, maybe even 3/4 of an inch. There are some models like this European model here to my left, and I kind of like this European model. I'm a little more partial to it, and a lot of it has to do with how much rain and how accurate that European model has. I'm usually more partial to ones that have higher rainfall totals because we really could use the rain, especially in these coastal plains counties where we do have a little bit more of that drought in place. We're looking at around a half an inch of rain, maybe even higher amounts in isolated spots east of I-35, or actually 1.5 inches, I should say. But we've also got some areas in the hill country that still might just have around a half an inch of rain at best. But I do think areas along and east of I-35 are going to get some good beneficial rainfall. Now, as we take a look at the graph, this is for the next couple of days. The short range model here does show around 0.2 of an inch, maybe even slightly higher than that. But I have a gut feeling that this could be a nice little moderado start to this wet weather pattern that we have over these next 4 days and these next 7 days. And there it is again. We do have a chance for maybe a few of those scattered storms as we head through the day on your Monday. And as we look past that front on Monday, we do have a bit of a drying trend on your Tuesday. But then by the time we get to Wednesday, when that second front moves in, that is where we actually are going to have much better chances for those storms as well as compared to Tuesday. And that's because we have that lifting mechanism out ahead of that front. Fronts usually provide a lot of that lifting mechanism. And then once we sweep on through with that front, Thursday's high is a little bit of something here, folks, because we're not going to possibly get out of the 50s on your actual Thursday. So it could be quite chilly for your Friday's Eve next week, but we're going to continue to watch this very, very closely. And with that, I'm going to read Facebook Live here and see if y'all have a few questions over these next couple of minutes or so before we get y'all set for KVUE News at 10, where I'll have more of the latest on that. So let's see what you guys have. I don't see any questions as of this time. Austin said, I looked outside to see this. That's cute. Make sure you don't look outside when there's severe weather, though. Alex said, don't need to hear you to see we're about to get a huge load dumped on us. Well, not really a huge load. I would only say around 1.5 inches in some areas east of I-35. I'm glad y'all could hear me now. So let's see what questions you guys have. I'm going to spend a few moments here. We're going to answer all your necessary questions. But first, we're going to scroll on back to our radar here to see if anyone wants to know where exactly their area is that's dealing with some shower activity. And I'm going to pause that right here. Hello to the 95 of you who are watching right now on Facebook. I know we're also on KVUE Plus, and I hope everyone has had a good Friday evening so far. So if you're on Facebook, if y'all have any questions on Facebook Live, whoever's watching, I'll go ahead and answer those questions real quick for you. But besides that, main story here is going to be the fact that we're still dealing with that rain shower activity. It's now most of the Austin Metro getting in on the action. Also portions of Burnett County seeing some rain shower activity. Earlier this evening, a lot of it wasn't actually reaching the ground, but what I can also say is that some of it is, especially once you get into those darker greens and then those yellows and those reds, which depict some of that heavier rainfall. So, is Azle going to get soaked tomorrow? Now, Azle, probably not. Widely scattered shower activity. It's 30% chance, so I wouldn't call this a washout by any stretch of the imagination. So to answer your question, Amy, no. We don't expect to get totally soaked, but still, we're going to be watching that closely for you. All right. Let's see, anyone else? Anyone else want to have their questions answered? Because I know y'all got them. I know y'all do. I mean, that's just how y'all are sometimes. I know y'all have questions, and we're here to answer those questions for you. Now, let's see what else we're tracking. We're only tracking the rain, really. Visibility is a bit of a story as well. And I'm going to pull that up and have that more full screen while I look at some of your questions, because again, we've got a lot of areas that are down to around 2 miles of visibility, including Camp Mabry down to 2 miles. We've also got a mile of visibility now being recorded at the airport, and around 1.25 miles out in Pflugerville as well. And even around 1/4 mile in visibility out in Lago Vista as well. So the rain having an effect on your driving conditions. You want to make sure that you are slowing down here. And now Barbara is asking about Bastrop. Now Barbara Haggis on Facebook Live asking about Bastrop. So Bastrop, you might be getting a good little bit of rain here in the next couple of minutes here, especially with that area right there just off to the south and east of Bateman. There it is, just to the south and east of Bateman. There's that area there, just off to the south of Bastrop. I think it's going to ride that little creek all the way into Bastrop, and I think you'll get a quick little dousing of rain just like that as well. So definitely something we have been paying attention to all along, and we are going to really pay attention over these next couple of days to see how much rain that we are going to be seeing. So we're going to really, really watch this very closely over the next little bit. So we've been really, really watching throughout the entirety of the upcoming, throughout this week, and we've got really good rainfall chances throughout the entirety of the immediate region. So we're going to really continue to watch this very closely over the next few days. So, anyone else have any questions real quick before I call it a day? I know we've got a lot of interesting events going on. The Texas Stars just had their teddy bear toss goal scored. It's a pretty interesting night, obviously, for hockey, but let's focus on the rain that's going to be continuing on these next few days. And I think the best rain chances are going to be mainly on your Monday and your Wednesday. So Monday, it's going to be a 60% chance, and Wednesday, it's going to be a 40% chance. So we're going to continue and easily watch this for you over the next few days. And we're going to go ahead, since it doesn't look like Thorndale, Paxton Jordan asking about Thorndale real quick. Let's go ahead and take a look at Thorndale. Thorndale, that would be right there on the border of Wilco and Milam counties. And looks like y'all are dry right now, but I would check back in the next hour and a half to see if y'all get that little band in southern Bastrop making its way towards y'all. So that's pretty much all we have right now, but I'm going to take one more little look at our next few days with our forecast. We're going to start again with this satellite and radar. We're going to zoom this out a little bit wider, kind of show y'all where a lot of the heaviest rain is. It's over portions of southern Bastrop County, even portions of the Austin Metro getting a good dousing, a good light shower passing through. Same story for sections of Burnett County. But visibility-wise, visibility is starting to be affected, especially in places like Pflugerville and immediate along and east of I-35 in sections of Travis County. Also, Lago Vista having around a quarter-mile visibility as well. And there is that Zilker Great tree sitting there in all its glory, shining through all of the gook and mess or grossness that is today's weather. And we're mainly in the low to mid 60s as of right now. One thing this shower activity has done is it's reduced our allergens. Cedar and mold are medium. Ragweed is low. You can find this allergy count right on KVUE.com as well as the KVUE app. And I'll continue to talk more about how these allergens have been affected tonight coming up at 10. And then your rain chances, 60 on Monday, 40 on Wednesday. That is going to be our best storm chances, and that's as a result of the fronts that are going to be succeeding those storm chances on both days. Now, as we go hour by hour, we are seeing a few of those scattered showers, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder are possible on Saturday. So tomorrow, not really much of a washout, but I don't think this particular model is going to be right in terms of cloud cover. I do think there's going to be more clouds hanging around for your Saturday. But then by the time we get to Sunday, we're going to start off with those low clouds. We're going to start off with a little more of that radiational fog. But I don't think that there's going to be as much clear skies. And I don't think we're going to warm up to around the 80-degree mark as this model suggests. But as we head into your Monday morning, could start off mostly cloudy. But then later on Monday afternoon and evening, that's when I have our best storm chances. Now, over the next 7 days, our rainfall amounts, I have mostly around a half an inch to an inch, maybe even an inch and a half if that European model verifies, and it's mainly going to be east of I-35. Now, this is over the next 7 days. That's not over this next couple of days in terms of rainfalls. This is over the next couple of days with the graph, and not much of that inch and a half is going to come over the next couple of days, folks. So something you're going to want to really watch over the next week. Hopefully we can get some good storm chances for your Monday and Wednesday and get some good amounts out of that. So by and large, a quick little recap here as we take this full. We do have mid-70s for highs on Monday, but we are tracking the first of two fronts coming in late Monday into Tuesday. Got that lifting mechanism on Monday that's going to give us that good storm chance. And then another lifting mechanism ahead of another front coming in on Wednesday, and that's going to sweep on through and cause even chillier temperatures for Thursday morning, where we get down to the lower 40s, maybe even upper 30s in some isolated spots. But we are going to get to the upper 50s only for highs on Thursday. Some areas, especially east of I-35, do have an outside shot of getting to 60. But then next Friday's high is going to be in the mid-60s. And it's looking pretty dry right now. It's still 8 days out, but it is looking dry right now for those who are heading to DKR next Saturday to watch those Texas Longhorns as they take on Clemson in that college football playoff first round. So, by and large, if no one else has any more questions, John, we could have a few isolated showers hanging around, but by and large, it should be mild and it could be a little muggy as well. And with that, I'm meteorologist Jordan Darensberg. I really hope you have a good evening. Stay warm out there because it does seem kind of chilly. And I will be back at KVUE News at 10 later on tonight with all the latest, and I'll be on throughout the entirety of the weekend giving you nonstop weather updates as things progress.